What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Philly Justice Podcast. January 6th, 2021 was a very scary day for the country after a group of insurrectionists stormed the US Capitol. Never would we have imagined that they would have continued to attack cities year after year on the same day. This group, known as the notorious Slick Six, have just attacked Philadelphia a few days ago. I have Maya, Oluranti, Talia, Zaina, and Vicky here with me today to share their thoughts.
Thank you, Andrew. Inevitably, money will always be the superior quality when we look at a person or a group of people. It's been like that for decades, and I don't see it changing anytime soon or even years in the future. So, on that note, not only was the Slick Six a powerful group, they were also extremely wealthy and could easily overrule their victim, in this case, the city of Philadelphia. There was a clear socioeconomic gap between this group and the city of Philadelphia, and the Slick Six were above them in every mile. This group had the finest top-notch technology that outsmarted even the programs in the Capitol and every computer in Philadelphia, which is why they were unstoppable. The downward crime of the Slick Six storming the city is also seen as downward deviant since they have the higher status here. When the Philadelphia police attempted to stop the Slick Six in their tracks, less law was applied. Upward law is less serious than downward law, but it is also more compensatory since they are wealthier and they would be asked to pay for their damage rather than just being punished.
Wow, very good point to bring up, Vicky. Honestly, it's kind of scary seeing how this group grew so much in wealth in a relatively short period of time. Maya, how do you feel about the situation?
As much as I would like to say this is a surprise, the attack on the city of Philadelphia is anything but that. Ever since the loss of the presidential election in 2020, this group of people has never been satisfied with the result. Like Andrew mentioned earlier, the attack on the Capitol left the entire country on high alert. In the sense of respectability, the Slick Six have little. They attack the very same laws that they tell others to abide by and continue to make countless accusations and false lies about our justice system. Moreover, this group preaches one of the most heinous things in United States history: white supremacy. In this particular instance, the Six are the offenders and the citizens in the city of Philadelphia are the victims. When someone of little respectability commits a crime, more law will be applied to them, and in this instance, it should. The Six are continuing to commit heinous crimes and preaching about exclusion and inhumane acts. I was able to interview one of the bystanders on the attack who stated that they saw members of the Six pushing and assaulting innocent bystanders. The local and federal government have been involved and have arrested only 6 members who were caught on high-tech facial recognition cameras, and they are being charged with seditious conspiracy, which means an effort to conspire to overthrow the U.S. government, and the punishment to serve is up to 20 years in prison.
Interesting points, Maya. You're right. It'll be hard to imagine what kind of people actually have respect for these individuals. Oluranti, what are some of your thoughts?
America, the land of the free, the land of the just, opportunity, the land whose own people are going around wreaking havoc for what exactly? At this point, I don't know whether to laugh or cry at the amount of injustice. Now, we all know the disproportionality in the law applied to minorities and whites, but as a first generation American with Nigerian origin, I know for sure that the rules will be amplified if my parents were the ones committing these crimes. Picture it like a circle. In the center of the circle, which is the society we call America, we have white people or American born people. The outside of the circle is foreign born and minorities. I'm sure everyone knows about the laws applied to race, and it is relatively the same with nativity. America is supposed to be the melting pot and the law of the just, but if a native born American shoots a foreign born person, the direction of crime is outward, which means direction of law is inward, which means the crime is less serious, which means less law is applied. Can you imagine that? Now, if the roles were reversed, all the stuff I just said would be the complete opposite, which in short means more law will be applied to the foreign born over the native born person. How crazy is that? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a black girl living in America.
Right, right. I agree 100%. And thank you for sharing your viewpoint on that. It's really crazy what's going on. Zaina and Talia, what is your viewpoint on the situation?
It's just hard to believe that they're actually going through with this annually. And the fact that the Slick Six has the power to do so is the most worrying part. A lot goes into making decisions like theirs, and as risky as impactful they are, they're being given the power to do so. And they inherit a certain level of privilege that comes from many things. They have attributes that have made them feel capable of doing this every year. And their large size definitely helps and gives them an advantage. Um, the more publicized their attacks are, the more in size and power they grow. And it's something we can't help but to cover. However, it's practically making them unstoppable. And when you look at it through Black's organizational dimension, that size and power is a huge factor in what's making them deemed more organized. However, I think we can all agree that while they may have things like size and power, they will never have the respect of the nation, and their actions will continue to be looked down upon. But their status has become dangerous, and the amount of type a lot that is applied to them rank on the organizational dimensional scale is more than just size and power.
After all these years, the Slick Six decided to attack our great city of Philadelphia. They've continued throughout the years due partially to their successful centralization, which has allowed them to feel all powerful and connected through joint decision making. Furthermore, they have also continued to wreak havoc on America, partially due to their consistency in decision making, which has made them ever more calculated and swift in their procedures. Due to their great size and power, as Zaina discussed, and their significant centralization and consistency, the Slick Six has been able to secure a spot in the more organized category of the organizational dimension. This placement puts them in a place of organizational privilege, which is one of the main reasons they continue to carry on their moral deeds without too much pushback from the law. So, though the city of Philadelphia, the victim, would seem to have much more organization than the Slick Six, they actually have about the same amount of organization, or a little bit less, partially due to both their lack of centralization. There are far fewer people with the power to make real decisions, and their moderate amount of consistency. They have policies, but they are not always practiced. There is not very much distance between the victim, the city of Philadelphia, and the offender, the Slick Six. But it seems that the Slick Six is a small distance higher in organization than the city of Philadelphia due to their great lack of centralization. Therefore, the Slick Six committed a downhill crime, which is not deemed as serious as an uphill crime and will be given uphill law, which is not as consequential as downhill law.
Wow, it's very true. There's been nothing but facts spoken today. I really hope that this devious group will be stopped somehow, some way in the future, because they cannot continue to terrorize this country like this. I really hope that something is done. But I want to thank all of our guests today for their valuable insight. And thank you for all the listeners for joining us today on another edition of the Philly Justice Podcast. Thank you.